we were discussing about a jQuery. It's a framework of JavaScript. So there we started discussing about jQuery selectors. Okay, so I had showed you few examples of element selector, universal selectors, class and ID selectors. So also we have discussed about the attribute selector. So in this example, you can see how an image tag, which is having the source attribute that is beginning with the value artist, will be selected. Okay, so you are selecting an image which is having the source attribute that begins with this field indicates it's beginning with the word artist. Yeah. So yeah, this is an example for an attribute selector. So coming to the next one, this is about the pseudo element selector. So how to deal JavaScript can deal with the pseudo element selector. Okay. So before understanding this topic, let me just go through the different types of selectors in the CSS. So pseudo element selectors are also from CSS and also allow you to append to any selectors using the colon or any one of the syntax. So you can use any of the syntax. I'll show you an example. Okay, you can go through the examples which is available in W3 school. Okay, so this is one example. So P colon first. Okay. So this example where we are using a jQuery for selecting the first paragraph. Okay. So you can see here there are three paragraphs. If I give P colon first, okay, so you can see the syntax. Okay. So when the page is loaded, when the page is ready to display, you are executing the function, and the function you are selecting the first paragraph. So this is example for pseudo element selected, and you are changing the background color to yellow. Okay. So this is one example for pseudo element selector. Okay. Likewise, you can try different these different examples. Okay. So this is for link when visited, link when focused, okay, when you mouse over, so when any checkbox is checked. Okay. So you can go through this. Next, this is one more example. Okay. So here you are selecting all the A stands for which tag? It's an anchor tag, correct? So A colon visited, you can see here, second one, A colon visited. So A means it's an anchor tag, so which indicates the link. Okay, you are selecting all the links that have been visited. Visited means the one which you have clicked, already clicked. Okay, so you are selecting all the links which have been visited, and that will be assigned to the variable visited links. Okay. So this is one more example. Next, coming to contextual selector. So in contextual selector, we can use space, greater than symbol, plus symbol, the still symbol. So you can see here, I have used space. So this what it will do if I give like this. So it will select all the paragraph which is there inside the div element or div tag. Okay. So this is for selecting or giving the style for all the paragraph which is there inside this particular div tag. Okay. Here you see we have used the greater than symbol. So what is greater than symbol? If I use a div greater than symbol, what it indicates? It will select all the span tags that are the direct child of div. Okay. So go through this. Okay. The symbols we have already discussed when we are discussing when we have come across the topic CSS selectors. Okay. Go through that. So this greater than indicates selecting the first child. Okay. So inside the div. Okay. So you can see here where you have span tag here. Okay, this is a span tag. Okay. So inside the div, we are selecting the first span tag, okay, and changing its background color to yellow. Okay. can go through this. Next is one more example you have here, due plus p. So plus means what? For selecting all the paragraphs that are next to each due. So here you can see after due, so this is our due, okay, this is our due, okay. So immediately after due, select the first paragraph. Okay, immediately after the due, select the p tag that are next to each due. Okay. Not inside due. Okay, after due tag, okay, which is the next paragraph that comes, that will be selected. Okay, so you can see here, this is inside due. Okay, this is not highlighted, correct? Okay, only the paragraph that comes immediately after the due will be selected. Okay, so you can write few examples, something like this. Okay. So when in the exam, what you can do is you can highlight this. Okay, you can just highlight this using pencil. Okay. Yeah. So these are some of the examples for different selectors. So this is one of the important question. Okay. So most frequent asked question. So how we can use jQuery for dealing with the CSS selectors. So the next one is the content filters. So here in the content filters, what is content filters? The only jQuery selector that allow you to append filters to all the selectors you have used thus far and match a particular pattern. Okay. So these content filters are used along with the selectors. Okay. So to filter all the selectors. So let's see what will happen. So here we are going to discuss three important functions. Okay. Has a particular, this is first function has. Okay. Next one is empty. Another one is contain. Okay. So let's see the example for each of this. Look at this example. So here I have x1 tag, paragraph, and paragraph inside that anchor tag and all. So here what we are doing is dollar, okay, body, okay, star indicates, okay, uh, star colon, okay. So here this syntax tells contains means you are checking inside the body tag. Is there any word that has a, I mean, is there any sentence that has a word warning? You can see here how many we have. Okay. So here there is a word. Okay. Two words. So filters are case sensitive. Here what you can see here is we have given small letter WARING, right? So but here we have capital letter W. Okay. So that will not be selected because it is case sensitive. Okay. Filters are case sensitive. So this will not be selected. But this will be selected. Okay. And similarly here, okay, here also we have the word warning. Even this paragraph will be selected. Again, okay, again here if you see the match happens for the paragraph and A since the word technically appears in both. Okay. So even here it will be selected. So this will be highlighted. Okay. Again warning, proceed with caution. This will be highlighted and again this is also will be highlighted. Okay. So these things will be highlighted. So this is for you can give here. Okay, after that what you can do is you can give the CSS. Okay, you can write here dot CSS and similar to that you can write okay background color black. You write it completely. Okay, background color you can write it black. Okay. So this what it will do. It will select all the sentence or all the tags that has the word warning. Okay, it is case sensitive. So this, like this, you can write the output. So this is one of the example for contents. Okay, this is a content filter. Similarly, this is for empty. Okay. So what empty will do? It will remove the content of all the div elements. If you go through this, okay. So what it will do? Uh, on the click of first initially when the page is ready to load, okay, you are having this body, you have a div tag and paragraph and a button. So when you click on the button, so this will be the function that will be called. When you click on the button, you can see a dollar button. Okay, then after that you're calling, okay, dollar div dot empty. So let's see what will happen. Okay, so what is there inside the div? So here I have a div, correct? This is a div tag I am having, and this is the content. Okay, and you can see we have this is to highlight that background color is yellow. It's a div tag. So when I click on this, okay, whatever the content that is there inside the div will be removed. Okay, empty, empty your div tag. So which one I want to empty? I want to empty the div tag. See here, when I click on this button, okay, whatever the content which was there inside this div, okay, will be deleted. Okay, will be removed. Okay. So these are some of the examples. And one more is hashtag. I mean, function, hash function. So jQuery. So see here, what this will do has, so it will return all the paragraphs that have a span element inside them. Okay, so it will, so if I give like this, okay, dollar paragraph, it will check all the paragraph and it checks whether this paragraph has a span tag. Okay, here. I have how many paragraphs here? Three paragraphs. Okay, inside that three, I mean in that three paragraphs, two of them have span tag, correct? These two, first two has the span tag. Now, what this will do? This will select only those paragraphs that is having the span tag, and for that it will give the background color as yellow. So you can see here, out of this three paragraphs, first two will be given the background color. Okay. So these are some of the examples for content filters. There are likewise you have different content filters. Okay, not restricted only to these three. So these are different content filter examples. So next, what you see here, okay, it is a jQuery form selectors. Okay, these are all you can see here checked. You might have we have come across this attributes, okay, or values. Okay, checked password, radio button. When you are using radio button, we are giving type is equal to radio. Similarly, when you are want to upload any file, you will be giving type is equal to file, type is equal to image, type is equal to submit. Okay, so these are all CSS, and this is how we do it using selecting the CSS using the jQuery. Okay. You can see these are some of the examples. Okay. So once it has been asked, it's explain all Java jQuery form selectors. Or explain any fixed jQuery form selectors. Okay. So these are all we can see whatever you see here checkbox, radio, password. These are all jQuery form selectors. Okay, I'll give one or two examples. Okay. So see here, this is for password. Okay, selects all the input tag that is having type is equal to password. Okay, so here I am having a form with the different controls or widgets. Okay, type is equal to text, password, button, reset, and all. So here what we do is this jQuery, it is dealing with the form and selecting only those form controls that is having type is equal to password, and for that it will set the background color as red. Okay. Similarly, you can change this to reset. Here now it is for reset. Okay. And for radio button you can see. If you want to for radio button, okay. So what we are doing, we are using wrap function. Okay, so wrap function, what it will do is it will create, okay, selects all the elements, input elements with the type is equal to radio. Okay, so the wrap method to highlight the selected elements. Okay, so it will be wrap means it will create a span tag. Okay, and for that span tag, it will be having the specified background color. Okay. So these are some of the examples. You can try and execute different form selectors. Okay, reset and all. When they ask in exam, explain. I mean, write this table. Okay, clearly write all this table. Okay. So this is for selecting password, radio, reset button, for selecting the one which is having the value disabled, for selecting all the checkbox buttons and all. Explain this, I mean, write this table and give examples. Okay. Next topic is jQuery attributes. In order to understand how to fully manipulate the elements, you have the access to, or one must understand the elements, attributes and properties. So we know that every tag will be having certain attributes. Okay. So here we are going to study uh, about the concept of dealing with attributes and about jQuery properties. Okay. So here, so first we'll understand HTML attributes. Okay. Four set of attributes related to DOM elements are one of the specified in the HTML tag. Okay, so here we are having a few tags. Okay, so for anchor tag we have href. Similarly, for image we have attribute source. And similarly, most of the element, any element, either it can be a paragraph or h1 or even body, can have this class attribute. Okay, similarly, different tags have different attributes. Okay. Now here we are going to uh, discuss about this attribute method, APPR method. So in jQuery, we can both set or get an attribute value. Okay, for example, I have anchor tag, okay, with href, with some value. Okay. Now, I would like to get the value of this href. Okay, so I can do it using attribute method. Similarly, I want to set the value of this, okay, to some link. Okay, to some path, I want to set this href value. Even that can be done using APPR method. So this is used for getting and setting the attribute values. Okay, not only just href or any attributes. Okay. So you can see here different three examples. Okay. So in this example, what we have done, we are uh, uh, we are declaring the variable link. Okay. The link will be assigned the href attribute of the first anchor tag. So it will fetch Okay, it will go through your document, HTML5 document, check for anchor tag, and if there is more than one anchor tag, it will select the first anchor tag, and that first anchor tag, it will return the value that is associated with this href. Okay, what is the value that is there? That the path will be stored in this variable link. Okay, and similarly, this is the one which is showing with only one parameter, and this is with the two parameter, which is used for changing the value. Okay, I want to change. Okay, if there is any some value, okay, I would like to change it to some other value. So href and give the value of that href. Okay, and similarly, this is uh, for one more attribute. Okay, this is for href attribute of anchor tag, and this is for image. Okay, for the image tag, if I have an attribute for the name class, okay, that for that class we are giving the value as fancy. So you can see here, okay, I have the image here. Okay. So which attribute I am fetching? I am fetching the width attribute. What is the value of width initial value? It is 284. Now what I do is I change that value to 500. Now I see, you see, when it happens, when you click the button. When I click the button, this initial is how much? 284. You can see the difference. Okay. Now what is the width? It is 500. Okay. So this is how you can use attribute for getting ATTR function for getting and setting the value of different attributes. Next one is HTML properties. Okay. So here we have a method called as PROP. So property method, it is a preferred way to retrieve or set the value of property. Okay. You can see. So this is used for adding or removing the property named color. Okay. So we know that CSS is made up of properties and values pair, right? Property, for example, align, center, or color, or font size, font family. So these are all called as properties, right? So CSS is made up of properties and value pairs. Okay. Now what we are doing here, I have a button here. When you click on this button, okay, look at this code. Okay, we are selecting this particular div tag, and for that div we are giving background color. Okay, this is some color, and that div, okay, will be appended with this text. Okay, the color property has a following value. Okay, and after that, this must remove the color property and append the color property. Okay, okay. First initially you give the color and remove the color. So this is used for checking, okay, checking all the properties, okay, which is having the value checked. Okay. So you can see here we are having a checkbox, type is equal to checkbox with the class value as MEH. Okay. So here what we are doing, we are selecting all the input tags. okay, which is having the class NEX. Okay, and out of that we are selecting, we are using PROP checked. That means the one which is having property is equal to checked. Okay. So if it is having property is equal to checked, then what it returns? It returns true value. Okay. So this is for setting the attribute. Okay. This is for setting the attribute. If this attribute is not there, okay, this particular attribute is not there, then this will add the attribute checked. Okay. So this is for evaluating. So the next one is changing CSS. So this we have already saw how we can change the CSS. So this using CSS method. So here CSS method, this is used for getting the color and this is used for setting the color. This one we have already saw. Okay. So I have shown different examples how we can set the color, background color. Okay. Select anything. Okay. By using different selector. This is using ID selector. Okay. So the ID selector, select any element which is having this particular ID color box, and this CSS method can be used for giving the color, background color to particular tag. Okay. Next, there are different shortcut methods. Okay. Let us see different examples for this. HTML method is used to get the HTML content of the element. So in JavaScript, how did we get the content in JavaScript? By using document.getInnerHTML. Okay, if you remember, we have used document.getInnerHTML. So that method will give you the content of the particular tag. Okay, but here we can use to get the inner content of the HTML element. We can use this method HTML. Okay, so what we have done? We are loading the page. When we click the button, okay, we are selecting the paragraph. Okay, and that paragraph, okay, will have the inner content what? Hello world. Now what are the content of the paragraph? This is a paragraph, this is another paragraph, correct? So now what we have done? We have changed both the paragraph inner content to, okay, initially was this is a paragraph, this is another paragraph. Now the new content is this. Okay, hello world. Okay, so HTML is used for adding the content to the particular tag. Okay. Next one is val method. Okay, returns the value of the element. You can see there are different methods available in jQuery. So val method, it is used to set the value of the input field. So here it is used for setting the value of the input field. So I have a input tag with the type is equal to text. When I click the button, okay, it will select the input tag which is having the type is equal to text, and that value will be, okay, what is the value of that? The content value means nothing but it's a content. So what is that content? Will be having this value. Okay, so this text box will be having the value this. Okay. Here, initially I have given this value. Initially it was high. Okay. Now when I click the button, it will change the value to this particular value. So again, you can change this based on your requirement. You can change this value. Okay. So that is about value method. Next one is add class. Okay, remove class and has class. Okay, so these are the three methods. Let's see the examples. So this is for add class. The add class will add a class name to the any tag. Okay, so in this example, what it will do, it will add the class to the. So here, what I have here, we are having H1 paragraph button and all. When I click the button, okay, for the paragraph, okay, which is having the class name as first. Okay, so okay, no, not class name. It is double colon, right? Colon is okay. So P colon first. That means first paragraph will be given with the class name as intro. So this first paragraph will be given the class name as intro. What is there in intro? It is intro will be having the font size as 150% and color as red. Okay. So this is the paragraph will be changed to red color. See. Okay. So this first paragraph. Okay. P colon first will be given with the class name as intro, and that class is given here. Okay, so this is add class method is used for adding the class. Okay. And similarly remove class and has class. So remove class is similar to that. Add is for adding, remove is for removing the class. So this will remove the class intro. So initially I have for these two paragraph intro class is there. Okay. Now when I click the button, this class will be removed. Okay. So now when I remove this class, it will become a normal paragraph. Okay, with no style. Okay, with no style, a plain text will be displayed. So this it will remove the class intro from the paragraph tag. Okay. And similarly, one more is as class. So this is used for selecting a paragraph which is having the class, okay, which has a class intro. Okay. So you can see here, this is one more example where you are using alert. Okay. So check which paragraph is having the class intro. Okay. So which is a paragraph? This is a paragraph. Okay. So that will be displayed in the alert box. Okay. When I click the button. So here. Yes. Okay. So it will return you true. Thus any paragraph has yeah. Thus any paragraph has this one class with the intro. Okay. This will return the true value. Okay. If there is any class with the intro value. So this much will return. Okay. So has class will return the value true or false. It will check all the paragraph which okay whether any paragraph is having the class intro. If it is there, then it returns true, or else it returns false. Just try to remove this. Okay. Let us make a change and remove this. Okay, now run, and now it should return false. Okay, because we don't have any paragraph with the class intro. Okay. So this is examples. So likewise, if they ask you different shortcut methods in jQuery, you can view this with examples. Okay. Next one is listener approach. So here, look at this. This is one of the old approach which we have already discussed in JavaScript. Okay. So how to handle the events. So one way of handling is this is using There are different events in JavaScript, right? Click event, mouse event, keyboard event, and all. So this is the example old approach. Okay. So old approach, what we used to do, we used to call on click. Okay. So select any uh, tag which is having the ID, that is example one, and when you click on that, either it can be a paragraph or a div, you have to display this alert box with the message good morning. Okay. Another way, if you remember, we had already executed this. Okay. Add event listener. Okay. So this will add the event listener that is on click. Okay. When you click a particular tag that is having the ID example one, okay, it will display the message good morning. And similarly, when you mouse out, that means when you move the mouse out, it will display the alert message with the content goodbye. Okay, and this is the function that is used in Chrome or high-end version of browsers. Okay, and this is for Internet Explorer. Okay, so here in the Internet Explorer IE, we use attach event. Okay, so this is a function that is used in IE. Okay, on click, display the message alert good morning. So this is a two approach that is used in JavaScript. This is the older one, and this is a new approach in JavaScript. Okay, see, this is about the jQuery listeners in. Okay, this is the listener how to handle the events in jQuery. Okay, so how to handle the events in jQuery. So here change event. Okay, so what is the name of the event? It is not click or mouse out. Okay, so what is the name of the event? The name of the event is change. Okay, so set up the listener on change event for the file item. So that means when you are uploading the file, that means when you are trying to change the file. Okay, so in that case, you are calling this function. Okay, so you are selecting the input tag which is having the attribute type is equal to file. Okay, so for that tag, okay, any change happens, okay, for this particular tag, this input tag which is type is equal to file, this function will be called. So what will happen? So it will display the message. Okay, whenever you try to change, maybe you are trying to upload some file, or you are uploading one more file. Okay, deleting the old one. When you are trying to upload the file, if the upload is successful, okay, it will display the message the file is uploaded. Okay, so we can go through these examples. Okay, this is also available in WP School jQuery listeners. Okay. So jQuery code to listen for the file input changing, all inside document ready event. Everything is inside document ready event. Okay, this is one more example. Okay. Another way using listener technique in jQuery. This is one more technique similar to JavaScript. This is one more technique. Okay, so here, yeah, file we are trying to, uh, yeah, here instead of add event listener, okay, here we had add event listener, right? So here what we have here, we have on and off method for listening to the events. Okay, so you can see here this is for adding the event and that is for removing the event. Okay, so when you upload the file, okay, if there is any change happens, you are calling this function alert function. So handler, so this is a function handler similar to your signal handler, or yeah, 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 signal handler. This is event handler. Okay, so this is the function which will be called, and this function, whenever any change happens while uploading the file, okay, so it will display the message. The file is selected. This dot value, it will give the value or the name of the file that you are uploading. Okay. This is one more example. So here we are creating the element. So this is concept of DOM. Okay, so document object modeling. Okay. This is pure JavaScript way. This is pure JavaScript. This is using jQuery. Okay. How we have created the tags in uh, JavaScript. Okay, so this is using JavaScript for creating any tag. Okay. What is the name of the tag? Here it is. Name of the tag is a tag. Okay, we are creating a tag. So then, what are the attributes you are adding? href. Okay, this is href we are assigning. Okay. href is equal to this particular value. Okay. Similarly, inner HTML. So what is the inner HTML of this? Okay, content of this is visitors. Okay. That is this one. Okay. And title. Okay, one more you are giving attribute. So title attribute. Okay. So anchor tag can also have different attribute. This is for title. What is the value? It is JS. Okay. So two attributes. One is href, another one is title attribute, and the content of this is visitors. Okay. So this is how you create the anchor tag using JavaScript. This is pure JavaScript. Okay. And jQuery it is still more simple. Okay. How do you do it in jQuery? Simple it is. Okay. Using dollar symbol. Okay. Use double quotes. Straight away write this. Okay. Whatever the HTML you have, straight away write this. Okay. So this is very simple in creating uh, jQuery. Okay. This is one more way in jQuery for creating any tag, a long approach. So first you create this closing and opening tag. Okay. Then add use this method attr method, okay, which is used for adding the attribute. To add two attributes, first one is href, second one is title. Okay, and what is this? This is one more function HTML which is used for adding the content of this. Okay, content of this anchor tag. Okay, visitors. So these are the three ways, okay, where you can create the tag. First one is using JavaScript. Second two is using jQuery. Okay. This is example. Okay. One more method, that is append method. Okay. So append method takes as a parameter an HTML string, a DOM object or a jQuery object. Okay, and that object is added as a last child to the element being selected. The append is nothing but it is used for adding, adding any tag or adding any tag as a child. Okay. So this is our initial HTML code. Okay, we have discussed code, div, so many div and all with the class link out and all. Now what we do is we select a tag which is having the class link out. Where is that? Here. There are two tags. Okay. For that we append JS link. What is this JS link? This is here. Where is that JS link? So JS link is nothing but a link that we have created. Okay, like this you can create one link. Okay. So you can give the name as JS link here. Okay, instead of jQuery link, you can give JS link. Okay. So you can create this JS link. Okay. And append JS link. So what it will do? So that link, whatever you have created, okay, you can change this name. Okay, create something like this JS link. Okay. Create like this, and that link will be added where as a child after this. Okay, after this view tag this will be added. So now after you execute this jQuery, your code will look like this. Okay, a anchor tag will be added. Okay. So where it will be added? Immediately after this view tag or any tag which is having the class link out. You see the difference between these two. Okay, compare that. This is pre-append. So this is very simple. Okay, append is after. Okay, added last. Pre-append is before. Okay, so where it will be added? You can see the difference. Where it will be added? Okay, inside. Okay, inside here link out. Okay, inside that will be added, not after that. Okay, it will be added inside as a first child rather than the last. Here where it will be added? Added as a last child. Okay, but here where it will be added as a first child. Okay, so this is example of pre-append and append. Okay, so look at this example. This is few more examples. So what we are having here, this is our pure HTML code. Okay. Now we are selecting a class that is having gallery. These are the two that is having gallery, and there we are wrapping it within the div. So for these two, we are creating a div. Okay. So div with the class. What is the name of the class? Class is equal to gallery link. Okay. Wrapping means covering. Okay. So what is that? We had these two. Okay. This was initially our this was our first div. Okay. Which will be placed inside another div. Okay. What is the name of the class? The class name is gallery link. Okay. Similarly, that is also done for this also. Okay. This is for another one. Okay. Wrapping. Okay, place this current div inside another div. Okay, so this is our current div. Separately it will be placed. Okay, so this is our current div with the class gallery that will be placed inside one more class that is having gallery link. Straightforward examples. Okay, so whenever they ask if the example, they may ask you explain wrap function. Okay, with the example, you can give this example. Okay, so this is example. This is one more example for a wrap function, which will with a callback to create a unique div for every matched element. So whenever you create, whenever you find a tag which is having the class contact, okay, what we are doing, we are calling a wrap and we are executing the function. Okay, so what function you are executing? So this function you are executing, which will return what? Which will return a div tag. Okay. Okay, so this is how it looks. So what is this? You can see here, visit is displayed as it is. Okay, what is this? This is nothing but this value, okay, content of this, okay, which is got by using what? HTML. Okay, this HTML function will give the content of that. Okay, the first content is this the museum, and next one is National Gallery. Okay, that is given here, National Gallery. So try to execute this. So the next topic we are going to discuss is Ajax. So Ajax stands for asynchronous JavaScript with XML. Okay. So it is a term used to describe the paradigm that allows a web browser to send a message back to the server without interrupting the flow of what's being shown in the browser. Okay. So this is a concept. Okay. That is used when you are sending the data to the server. So which is used to avoid, okay, uninterrupted or which is used to avoid unnecessary load time. So sometimes what happens when you are sending a form, okay, when you click the submit button of the form, what happens, you need to wait for certain fraction of seconds. Okay, after fraction of seconds, your content of the form will be submitted to the server. Okay, after once the content will be submitted, after certain fraction of seconds, that is a load time. After that, you will be getting some message telling that your form is uploaded. Okay, or form request is been sent. Correct. So that is a load time. Okay. So that fraction of seconds that is called as a load time. To avoid that load time, we can use the concept of Ajax. Okay. So this Ajax concept will avoid uninterrupted or will give you, okay, will avoid any uninterrupted flow of data. Okay, there is no disturbance in the flow of data. So this is the full form. Okay, A stands for asynchronous JavaScript and XML. So Ajax it is not a programming language. Remember, okay, it's not a programming language like your PHP or Perl, okay, Python. This is not a programming language. Okay, so this is a way which tells how you can send the data from the browser to the server. Okay, by avoiding some unnecessary time, which we call it as a load time. Okay, it might be look very simple. I mean, very less time for us. Okay, a fraction of second, it might be very less time for us, but for server, it matters a lot. Okay, so that unnecessary wasting of time should be avoided. So to avoid that, we have, I mean, the concept of Ajax is introduced. So Ajax just uses a combination of a browser building object. So here we are using an important object that we call it as XML HTTP request object. So this object is very important, okay, which is used to send the request data from the browser to the server. Okay, so this is very important. JavaScript and HTML DOM. Okay, so again we are using in Ajax we are using JavaScript and HTML DOM concepts to display or use the data. Okay, so you can see this is a definition. Okay, which is used to send the data back to the server without interrupting the flow of data that's been shown in the browser. Okay. So as I already said, the key concept in Ajax is this object, okay, which is used to send or exchange the data between the browser and the server, okay, possibly updating the part of the web page without reloading the whole page. Okay. For example, when you are requesting the page, okay, so what happens? It will show you the first two paragraph, just for example. Next paragraph, it is fetching. Okay, this object is fetching. As soon as that, it will show you the next paragraph. Similarly, in the meantime, when this is displaying, it is fetching the next paragraph, so on. Okay, so it is updating or finding not just whole page, okay, part of the web page. Okay, so this is how we create this HTML, XML, HTTP object. So this is a syntax for creating the object similar to your .NET, okay, using new keyword. And this HTTP XML object has different methods. So you can go through this method. So there are different methods like about for cancelling the request when the request has been sent from the browser to the server. If you want to cancel that, you can use this method. Okay. Next one, get all response headers. So this is to get the header information, and this is for getting specific header information, and this is for specifying the request. Okay, we know that there are two methods of sending the data. One is using get method, another one is using post method. Okay, so this is for specifying what type of method you are using and what file you are sending, file location, asynchronous, whether you are using asynchronous or synchronous way of transferring the data, username and password. Okay, and this is send method, that is to send the request to the server, user for get request. Okay, and this is for sending the request to the server using post method, and this is the last one, get request header, that adds a label or value pair to the header to be sent. Okay, so these are different methods. Similarly, we have properties. So these are the properties. See the difference? We don't. These are the functions. Okay, we have I mean, parenthesis, okay, open bracket and closing bracket. We don't have here because this is a property. Okay, so this is a property on ready state change. So this defines a function to be called when the ready state property changes. Okay, this is used for defining the function, and this is for getting the status. Okay, when you are sending the or when you are requesting any data or sending the data from the browser to the server, okay, so there will be some status will be returned, correct? Like whether it is successful or unsuccessful, or whether it is processing, okay, or request finished, okay, connection established. So any request status can be got by using this property request state. Next one is the response text that returns the response data, whether the response, whatever the response that is coming from the server will be returned as form in the form of string. Okay. This is in the form of XML. It is written in the form of, we have studied XML in our lab program, right? XML for creating student records. Okay. So this is using XML form. Similarly, we have status. Okay, status. So these numbers you might have observed in browsers. Okay. Sometime when you get some errors like 403, 404 errors. Okay. So this is 200 is most common status which indicates the okay, no errors. Okay, everything is fine means it is written 200. Okay. Prohibited when you are trying to access some data which you are prohibited. Okay. And last property is status text. Okay, if you want information about the status in the form of text, so these are text. These are all code. Okay, 200 and all code. These are all text. Okay, so examples are this. So in Ajax, okay, as I said, there are two ways of sending the data. One is using the request method, another one is uh, post method. Okay, the Ajax also can send the data to the server using these two methods, get method and post method. The first one we will discuss about get request. Okay, next we will discuss about uh, jQuery post request. Okay, and there is one more method that is using Ajax method. There are three methods we are going to discuss. Okay. So first one is using get method. There are three methods: get, post, and last one is Ajax method. So these are the three methods being used. So, so this is using get method. So this is the syntax. Okay. So very simple. First you are telling the URL. Okay. URL is a string that holds a location to send the request. The location is nothing but the location of the server. Okay. Whether it's a local host or any certain IP address can be mentioned in the URL. Next is the data which is optional. Okay, that is nothing but the jQuery or the plain object that you want to send to the server. Okay, the data that you want to send in the form of jQuery, query string or a plain data. Next one is this is a function. Okay, Texas is a function with these three parameters, which is an optional callback function that will be executed when the response is received. When you are getting the response from the server, this function will be executed. What it will be having? It will be having the body of the response. That the response that you are getting from the server. Okay, that is nothing but the data, server data. Okay, the response data. Next one, text status. Okay, what is that text status? Okay. Text status. Okay, so text status is nothing but the status of the request, whether it is successful or prohibited. Okay, or is there any error? So that is message, text message will be displayed here. Text status. Next one is one important object. It is JQXHR. Okay, so this is holding the jQuery, XR object. So this is the object that is very important for us. Okay, so there are three things. Okay, the data that is being coming from the server, status of the response, okay, status of the request. Okay, next one more object. And the last field is data type. So this is also optional, which tells what type of data that you are expecting from the server. Whether you are expecting plain or XML type of data, or expecting any certain kind of extension files. Okay, so optional data. Okay, so these are the parameters. First one is location of your server, data which you want to send to the server. Once you get the response from the server, this data, these functions will be executed. This function will give you the data that you get from the server status, okay, indicating the status of your request, whether it is successful, an object for further communication, and the last one is data type, the type of the data that you are expecting from the server. Okay, so this is the jQuery uh, get request. Okay, jQuery get request using Ajax. Okay, so you can see here this is a jQuery to asynchronously get a URL and output when the response arrives. So this is using jQuery get method. You can write it using like this also, or you can write it using dollar symbol dollar dot get. So first thing is what? This is a location, okay, or URL. First parameter is URL, and next one is a function. Okay, that is this one. Okay, so these whatever you see in the square bracket, they are all optional. Okay, that is not necessary. Only first thing is mandatory. Okay, must. Rest all are optional. So once, okay, you are sending the request for this particular page with this request URL. Okay, this function will be executed. So function will have data, text data, and this JS object. Okay. So next, once you are done, so you are checking whether the text status is equal to success. Okay. So if it is success, then you are displaying this message. Okay. Successful data, whatever the data that you are getting from the server will be displayed here. Okay. And this will give you the status. Okay. This will give you the status, or you can display it like this. Okay. So this is for displaying the data that you are getting from the server. This is for displaying the status. Okay. So there are three more methods. Okay. Quickly we'll go through this. There is done method, fail method, and always method. Okay. So whenever you are getting the response, once you send this get request, okay, to the particular URL, okay, this is a URL, you will get the response, correct, from the server. So this is a response. So response can be anything, correct? It can be a 200 response, successful or unsuccessful. If it is successful, then you are executing this done method. If it is not successful, then you can execute this error. Okay, or else you can execute this always, irrespective. Okay, so if it is successful, done method. If it is error, this method. And if it is irrespective whether it is an error or anything, you are executing this method. Look at this very simple example. Okay, you are sending the get request. This is a URL. Okay, so done method, you are executing a function with the data. Okay, so done method, what it will do? It will execute this function and it will display the data that you get from the server. Okay, failure method, what it will do? It will display the status code. What type of failure? Okay, so failure, prohibited, or any error. Okay, then always. So always method will execute this function. Okay, so which will display the message all done. Okay, which will always, okay, always this function always will be displayed, I mean executed always, okay, irrespective whether it is successful or unsuccessful, always method will be executed. So this is all about get method. So we can first initially uh, explain the syntax, okay, explain the prototype, give an example, okay, and if they ask you for more marks, if they ask you for more marks, then you can explain this done, fail, and error or always method with this example. Okay. Next, in the next class, we will go through this post method. Okay, post request.